This lesson is on interrogative adverbs. So interrogative adverbs are used to ask questions. And the ones we use today are why, where, when, and how. Now there are some old-fashioned ones that we really don't use today, and we'll have a quick look at those. And how is a bit more interesting because it has several different ways of being used. These interrogative adverbs usually go at the start of the sentence. So if we look at the adverbs why, where, and when, why does it always rain at the weekend? Why is my sister dating that guy? And in all these examples, the adverb has been placed in italics to make it easier to see. Where shall we go on holiday next year? Where did I put my reading glasses? When does the film start? When are your parents arriving? And in all cases, as you can see, these are all questions and so have a question mark at the end. Now, there are some old-fashioned adverbs that we don't use anymore. And these are where to, whence, and whither. Now, if you do see these in old text, just replace where to with to what end. And replace whence with from where, and place whither with to where. Now, I don't want to spend loads of time giving examples on these, and I really only mention it in case you come across it when reading an older text. More important is to look at how we use them today. Now, how has several different uses. And it can be used to ask in what way, to what degree. We can ask about quantities, and we can ask about frequency or intensity. We'll look at some examples now. So using how to ask in what way. How can I make my own website? How does this gadget work? Or being used to ask to what degree of an attribute or an adjective. How old is your wife? How tall is your father? We can use how to ask about quantities. How many apples do you need? How much do the apples cost? Now I've bolded many, much, and countable and uncountable to highlight, just as a brief reminder maybe, that we use how many for countable items and how much for uncountable items. And if you need a bit of revision on this, please check out the countable uncountable lecture in the noun section. And we use how to ask about intensity or frequency. So how loudly does your husband snore? How often do you go to the gym? And as we said at the start, interrogative adverbs usually go at the start of the sentence, and all the examples we've seen up to now have followed this rule. But with indirect sentences, the verb does not follow the adverb. The direct question that we've had before is, where is the treasure buried? Or if we use an indirect way, tell me where the treasure is buried. Another example of a direct question, when can we meet? And the indirect version is, let me know when we can meet. And you'll notice, again, the direct question has the question mark at the end, and the indirect version doesn't.